Researchers at UAH are helping in the fight against COVID-19. Professors and graduate students are using supercomputers to find drugs that could potentially fight off or even prevent the virus. The goal is to repurpose existing drugs. They say using high-performance computers makes sifting through the thousands of compounds much faster. Once they find compounds that could work, they send them off to be tested.
It takes a bit of time to generate those lists, so we're building those lists little by little. Each time we have a few compounds that we think are interesting, we ship the information to our colleagues, and they can move quickly on them.
They say they have already sent in some compounds to be tested and that the process will likely take months.